Thank you, Paul. Now I'd like to introduce the first of our distinguished alumni, Dr. Kenneth Dodgson. Most of you in this room know Ken and his wife Sally very well, and in this sense, they need no introductions. I would go further and say it would be impossible to spend any amount of time around CRCDS without hearing the names of Ken and Sally Dodgson, and with good reason. Ken has graciously and steadfastly served his beloved alma mater through constant advocacy, support, and volunteerism. Those of us fortunate enough to work here are blessed to see his cheery face and to hear his encouraging and insightful words on a regular basis, whether it is through the work with institutional advancement or his gracious support of many programs and lectures at CRCDS. A cursory view of the biography provided you in your program points to Ken's many talents. A gifted athlete and artist. In fact, the engraving on tonight's plaques is based on the drawing Ken did of the CRCDS chapel and its tower. A talented surgeon and clinician, a valued member of our community and of any community in which he is a part. For Ken, these gifts, talents, and accomplishments are not an end in themselves, but rather are a means of living out his faith, a faith that is founded on service to God and to others. Whether through his many years in the mission field in India, his service to his church and denomination, his participation in community organization, or his increasing efforts here at CRCDS, Ken is always there, willing to lend a hand, often literally, in support of others, providing a clear example to us all of our life of the service that God calls us to, if only we choose to listen. Ken's path at first may seem unusual for a CRCDS graduate. After all, most of our graduates do not go on to become surgeons. And yet, Ken's commitment to service, particularly to those who are the least among us, and his work in transforming the communities in which he lives, all are the hallmarks of the CRCDS transformative education. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to present the 2011 Colgate Rochester Grocer Divinity School Distinguished Alumni Award to Dr. Kenneth Dodgson.
Was given the Presidential Medal. He opened his comments by saying, "This is an occasion that calls for humility, but I was given the ability to fight it." I can only say that I did not expect this and did not see it coming, so I'm as surprised as you are. I'm standing here. And I can only say, if you want to stand here, you get the agent of Dr. Ed Wheeler. Because you find out you share many things in common. We have a history in Cincinnati together. We both have honorary degrees from Franklin College. And so we share a common pathway. One of the many things that one might like to say, I'll limit my remarks to the one thing that probably is the thing that affected me most and affected my life most, my Colgate Rochester Grocery Business School. And that was the ability to think theologically. Now, I'll try to explain that. And I'll do it, it's the Easter season, and we'll help again with the road to Emmaus story, which of course has to do with the resurrection experience. But I would share that all of us in our faith journey walk an Emmaus road. And it started with questions, a lot of questions. The stranger who joined the two said, "What are you discussing as you walk along?" And they answered by saying, "Are you the only one who doesn't know what's going on?" And he says, "What things?" And that is the point that I would like to make, because in our journey of faith, we seek a destination of security and a destination of comfort. And yet, as we walk the Emmaus Road, it comes to a branch. And we're inclined to want to go to the security and the comfort of home. But the one with whom we walk makes out that he's going further into the darkness of night in a time when common sense says it's unsafe to be alone on the road at night. So we find ourselves wanting the comfort and security and realizing that once you get there, it's just the beginning of the next journey. For as the disciple of the two strangers, interestingly, in the breaking, the sharing of bread, the sharing of wine, the sharing of fellowship, the sharing of life, came to know who it was. And suddenly the night has no danger. They rush back to Jerusalem, as we have to go back to every Jerusalem. And when they get back to Jerusalem, it's just the beginning of another journey. So that every destination is the beginning of the next journey. So coming to Colgate, Rochester, I actually arrived here, I was 19 years old, thinking it's a very simple thing. I knew something about the Bible. I was seeking a place of comfort and security. And as so much of Christianity does, you want the certainty. And I used to think that to raise questions was to raise doubts. And that doubt was the antithesis of faith. And it actually was Mark Drummond of the staff here who pointed out to me, no, doubt is not the antithesis of faith. Certainty is the antithesis of faith. Because if you've got certainty, then you don't need faith. So all I can say is that what I took away from Colgate, Rochester was not only the permission, but the realization that it is necessary to ask questions. And you have to ask the right questions. And if the Emmaus Road is part of that journey, then the many questions lead to the dialogue and the discussion. Jesus. He sums it up so nicely. It's not a direct quote, but it's close enough. Robert Schweitzer wrote, Jesus comes to us as one unknown, as by the lakeside he came to those who knew him not. He speaks to us the same words, follow me. And to those who follow, whether they be wise or simple, he sets us to the task that we are to perform in our day, and to come to know in our own experience who he is. For Sally and I, we're very grateful for the many things for which we're thankful for Colby and Roger in his school. Our Emmaus Road started on this hill. Coming back.